this light into your world every morning. Marijuana motivation time. We're your host with the Moses Mark Saint. We are waking up and we are shining in the light of the jungle in Thailand. And I just love, yes, because I'd rather be alone than unhappy. Isn't that right, Miss Whitney Houston? It's not right, but it's okay. I'm gonna make it anyway. Lyrics on shirts, okay. So it's not right, but it's okay. I'm gonna make it anyway. Yeah, I'm hoping we all make it, bro. 5 weaknesses all narcissists have, but don't want you to know. Something we're gonna have to dive into. Because your boy apparently is a narcissist after breaking up with a narcissist, and then I must be a narcissist trying to date a narcissist. I have to find out about myself, bro. It's not enough to just have a birthday and arrive on a day on the earth on a certain day. It's important that you know yourself, bro. To know thyself is the biggest power on this planet. Everything else is going to come from it. It's going to derive from you. You're the point of origin. You're the common denominator. Whatever you shine on, spit on, will grow and eventually come out in the light. It's reflecting off of this right now, bouncing in my face, a lot of light. But I'll take that light. I'll take that light work. Because all the other work looked like it was light work, but ended up being really hard work. And I thought about it over all these years. Just how much mental work I've been doing on me in this life, in this body, in this one experience to reach this life. Dude, I literally sit in the jungles. My friends are like, you're living your blessed life. And you know, that's all cool and all for everybody else to be like, you're living your blessed life. It's more important that I know that I'm living my blessed life, right? Thank you, Mr. Motorcycle, for being loud in the morning. You already know what time it is. Let's get us some Future Roller Mike Tyson papers. This message is brought to you by Future Roller Mike Tyson papers, the future of rolling. These are actually Mike Tyson's papers, exclusively distributed by me in Southeast Asia and Europe. Hi. Smoke and review, baby. Smoochy boochie noochies. Let's get some weed up in this bitch. Also brought to you by Medtainer. USA grade A medical grade plastic. Bink bonk bink. You can seal it. You won't have to smell it. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Boom, 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 boom. This is how we do it. Now. We have to learn it. We're going to have to learn about ourselves. We're going to learn about our reactions. We're going to learn about our temperament. I've been doing some research. Turns out a couple quick books you can read. Let me throw some out there. This one we're going to jump into, but some of the ones that I've been reading is the Games People Play, the full audiobook. We're going to dive deep into that one. That one I really liked. 78 Laws of Power. You got to deep dive into that. Anything Robert Greene, the book, The Art of Seduction, and The Laws of Human Nature. Those three right there. These are like top 5 books to read. And last but not least, where's it at? Come on. I was just watching it. Yeah, I got The Human Nature. Games People Play by Eric Burney. That's funny, Ernie Burney. And last but not least, Negotiating as If Your Life Depends on It. Never Split the Difference. Oh, the other one's called The Righteous Mind, but it has to do with politics. I'm much not into it. But what I am into is human growth. What I am into is learning about life. Just so happens that I have this experiment called My Life. I see it through my own lens, through my own fog of emotions and reactions. There's going to be my biases towards everything because it's coming from me. Used to feel like it was narcissistic because I was talking about me, you know, how I feel about a given situation or how I responded to a given situation. I am the focal point. This point of this morning marijuana motivation, the day after my birthday, it's probably still my birthday in America, is to talk about my flaws up front. That's what Saint's Addiction was always about. perfectly imperfect, convict, up front, addict, up front, not gonna sit and pretend, because that would be a front. There are so many people that would like to virtue signal, bro. There's so many people that like to have their hair done. They would never start a YouTube channel because they would have to look unperfect. They'd have to expose the holes, bro. And this is what I did in my show. And those people are like, man, you say a lot of things, man. Maybe these girls might find out about each other. No, I told them about each other. They just really didn't want to listen. I was like, yo, I'm not gonna be celibate with you, bro. Like, you got me fucked up. I'm trying to have good sex in my life and enjoy my life to the fullest and not play games. And this is what seemed to happen in this last experience, was that it was like a, you play too much. I just kept telling this bitch, you play too much, you play too much. These games will end up catching up to you, and you won't like it. You won't like the results. You won't like what happens from um, your own undoing, right? We used to call it that. The decisions you make are the responsibilities you take, and eventually them bitches catch up to you, and then eventually they catch up to me. And that was some of the life lessons I started to learn. I didn't have the skill sets. I didn't have patience. I had a bad temper. I can still have a bad temper. I am not perfect, perfectly imperfect up front, but I will tell you this. I pride myself on not hitting people anymore. I pride myself on learning these things, even if they're hard. And I pride myself on practicing what I preach and not just getting on this thing and be like, oh, yeah, I'm losing weight, feeling great, got to quit sugar. Yeah, man, turn around and snort a cookie right behind the camera. What's behind the camera is in front of the camera. What's inside you is outside you. You know, we can show the prettiest and coldest exteriors that we want. We're always signaling to each other. But the only person that you got to signal to is yourself. If you can signal up to your brain, hey brain, be happy, then you're winning. If you can step up to people and be like, I apologize, I'm not always right. I owe you a sincere, quick apology, because that's how you win friends and influence people. So you can stay and sit here and go in a calm manner and say, look, man, what we're doing isn't working. I'm going to take a step away, right? And I'll come back. I'll come back and we'll talk about it. You know what I mean? I'll eventually I'll be back. Give me like a half hour. I'm going to go get some lunch or whatever. We'll do. And I'll be back. You know, and me and you can have this heart to heart that needs to happen. Okay, cool. That's how you know you're healed. It won't be from a meme. It won't be from a post. It won't be from a video. I'm going to even post about this. It's till you have self-control. And I didn't learn it till after I lost my child. And apparently I can still be goaded into throwing hands or wrestling around or putting bitches in headlocks. I have to learn these things, right? Fucking crazy, bro. But this is why I did this show, is I was like, I was learning so much, and there's so much to learn. This is about a 20-minute video right here. We're going to get on it. But man alive, bro, have I not learned in this life, 44 years on this planet, waking up again, thank God, and just trying to be a better man. You know, it's not going to be a God show. This isn't one of those shows, and it's not a spiritual show either. It's a reality show. And this is the reality of it, dude. You have to live your own consequences. Most people won't tell you this shit, bro. They're going to tell you you can be a victim and hide under the darkness, or people feel bad for you when you get used to that attention, you get used to the drama, and you feed off of it. It's not a healthy relationship. If you are constantly getting berated by certain types of feelings that are that strong, eventually you will build up a tolerance to it, and then you'll just be addicted to it. And then it's like you weren't even enjoying it. You weren't enjoying the love. You weren't enjoying the love making. You weren't even enjoying the moment because you're too obsessed with perfection. You're too obsessed with what other people will think. And you don't have enough self-discipline to enjoy it yourself. This is why we had this argument. So can you find your own happy? Everybody wants to be rich, but nobody wants to realize they create their own happiness. Rich, realize I create my own happiness. Four-letter word. Yeah, I want to be rich, like ridiculously rich, and not in the fact of any kind of money or dollar bills. And a lot of people say that. I'm sitting here in front of you telling you that. With the scars on my body, you are not taking it with you. His father the other night with the cancer rattling through his body, he's not gonna get to buy his way out of diabetes, bro. You're not going to buy your way out of the cancer. They sure might give you a better fucking doctor, but guess what? You still got cancer. This is not a fun project. This is not cool. This isn't something that makes it even or Steven, bro. This is how life is. It's like it's his father. He's trying to spend as much time as he can. Spent 3 years in the basement, trying to figure out how to make money, and then finally hits and becomes a millionaire. And as soon as Pops gets sick, he goes, "Now's the time to travel, bro. Let's go everywhere you want to go. I want to live this life with you before you die." There's a lot of people that are dying before they're dead. They've relinquished all their power to what's happened to them in the past, or can't seem to get the accountability out fast enough. And if you are in the driver's seat of your life, you know that you've been making the decisions. And as soon as you accept that you are in the driver's seat, is the moment that you can start driving the fucking car. You tell them you don't need a manager, right? You don't need a manager if you know how to manage yourself. And that's exactly what this is. This is that manage yourself um, philosophy, Stoic philosophies, how not to be narcissistic, how to be empowered. You know what I mean? Not that you're gonna be an empath or a super empath. No, 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 no. You're gonna be self-disciplined. You're still gonna be you, just you with brakes, bro. You with guardrails. And I don't even like guardrails, but it keeps you from leaving the track. You know, and how many of us have gotten off track? I'll wait. Me, a bunch of times, bro. And that's why I started doing this label. I was like, fuck, bro. It's not easy to be flawed. And it's not easy to give all your enemies some ammunition on your flaws, right? You just come up, convict up front, you know, getting in abusive situations with women, not completely wealthy yet, but working on it, and nowhere in shape or form am I perfect, right? Like this had to be. Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted it, dude. I'm telling you, even now, the billionaire investor was like, "I'm not investing in anything named addiction." I'm like, "Well, you're about to invest in an addict, right? Like, you need to know that I'm addicted to love. You need to know that I used to be addicted to cocaine. You need to know that I have an addictive personality. That like when I have sex, I want to have a lot of it, not just a little bit of it, not just a couple kisses, not just like 2 slices, like all day, every day, in and around my mouth." It's the way I play that game. But some people, they don't know how to play their own game. Let's keep it real, right? Like they don't know themselves enough to direct their ship, right? Oh shit, my bestie's calling. Let me let me call you back. I'll have to call you back because I got shit to do. You know, got shit to do. So part of it's listening to this video and giving out this information from life because we all need it. No one's exempt from it. It doesn't hurt to practice Stoic philosophies. It doesn't hurt to practice self-discipline. This is why I do it in the end. I'm burping up. I threw up some of that Mexican food I had last night. It didn't digest all the way. Have you ever brushed your teeth and it made you throw up food from last night? Keeping it too real on the show? Okay. Keeping it too real, bro. Too real, too soon. Hey, man, I'd rather keep it real than to live in fear. You know, I sat there alone. I did. I looked at what was going on with me in the end. You know, I did. And to sit there and have a real conversation with myself, bro. You know, where are my real friends? Am I narcissistic because there aren't any friends around me, you know? And it turns out I did have a friend that was hanging out with me, but we had a schedule conflict. And the old me wanted to take it personally, like, oh, man, it's all flowing. Why can't I get the best out of my days type shit? And it just so clear that you need to make the best of your days. It's not a good day or a bad day. You got to make the best of the time you got. And it comes back to that adage, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And that's why we got to have these conversations, because these are my things. These are my things. These are your things. These are the things that I'm learning. And it doesn't hurt to learn along with me. So in a world that everybody wants them to be followed and everybody wants to be liked and everybody wants to virtue signal and wear a mask and prove to you that they are who they say they are, instead of actually just showing you, right? Just be about it, right? Not actually eat. The ice cream mark. There it is. Okay, we got the live on back. They wanted to disconnect away from the bullshit. I can't say that I blame it. Let's go. We're gonna go backwards, forwards, and we're gonna play it this way.
In the fascinating world of human psychology, narcissism often poses as invincibility, but it's really just a well-polished act. Picture the narcissist meticulously crafting their facade like a high-stakes game of make-believe, striving to appear flawless and untouchable. Yet beneath this glossy surface lies a truth that doesn't quite match their grandiose story. As someone navigating the stormy seas of narcissistic abuse recovery, it's crucial to cut through the smoke and mirrors and reveal the vulnerabilities lurking within these seemingly all-powerful characters.
So I'm a seemingly powerful character that met a seemingly all-powerful character, and first you go right, then it goes wrong. So we have to have that conversation. But in this, I am also a participant. In this, when we learn this, know that I also have narcissistic traits. I also exhibit an ability to continue an argument. I also can, I don't like criticism. What are my other traits? I lack empathy sometimes, not all the time. Like I like feed the homeless and shit, but like when somebody's being too emotional in front of me, I'm like, you need to knock that shit off, and life don't give a fuck about your shit, so stop acting like a little bitch. Probably not my best speech ever, especially for someone that's sensitive, but it is the truth, and it comes out unempathetic, and it's the way I slice it out. I'm more of a tough love than a fake love type person, but this is how it is, right?
Today, let's chat about the 5 Achilles heels that plague all narcissists. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to keep up with the nuggets of wisdom I'm serving. Firstly, despite their claims of omnipotence, narcissists are haunted by a deep-seated fear of inadequacy.
Right.
Their constant quest for validation is really just a desperate bid to silence this existential dread.
Yeah.
Secondly, underneath their facade of grandeur lies a gnawing insecurity that incessantly gnashes at their self-esteem. Additionally, narcissists get caught in their own tangled web of deceit, making it impossible for them to forge genuine connections due to their empathy deficit. This isolation only adds fuel to their internal chaos, trapping them in their own self-made prison. Furthermore, their insatiable thirst for admiration makes them easy prey for manipulation, falling prey to those who feign admiration.
Right. I mean, that almost worked. Oh, you're so hot. And I'm like, I mean, I've been called handsome, bro, but I don't get called hot. You're so fucking hot. Especially to someone that wasn't fucking me. So usually you're so fucking hot means I'm going to suck your cock. Didn't happen. It was just my inflation. If you want me to feel special, if you want to, what did my grandpa used to say? Lie to me, I love it. You know, flatter me, I love it. You know, we're all susceptible to it. Sure, the guy gave you a compliment, but it's a cat call. And he doesn't know you at all. And the only reason he's hollering is because he wants to mate it with you. There's a lot of things out there that we don't talk about. These are the in between the lines, and this is why I have this show.
Their delicate egos can't handle criticism or even the slightest perceived slight, leading to dramatic blow-ups. By unraveling these weaknesses, we not only understand narcissism better, but also get a peek into the human psyche. Recognizing the fragility beneath their mask brings us closer to comprehending and eventually breaking free from the cycle of abuse. Number 1.
Right, so we're all fragile. That's why I put it in addiction. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about their fragility. Nobody wants to come clean. Nobody wants to admit that they've made mistakes or that they might be the culprit. It's so much easier to say that I'm the victim. They all did it to me. I have no responsibility. Point, finger, blame. And there's so much shame and there's so much regret and there's so much pain that this is the way that we've adapted since childhood. Like this is something that you will go into your childlike state and learn this too from what's the book I was just watching the game that we play games, bro, and whether you like it or not, you're playing a fucking game. Maybe you're the actress that is the reinforcing partner that never got the ability to love her father, so you just let other dudes destroy her and find and pick bad dudes because you're picking your bad dudes, you know. Or you're the guy that seems to be Captain Save-A-Ho, and instead of saving your mom or trying to be the star in her show, you'll find broken women, that's my case, to fix. It sucks, dude. There are so many little games that we play. Either we play them as a parent, or we play them as an adult, or we play them as a child. Each time that you're in a conflict, you choose if you're going to be like, you didn't do the dishes. That's a parent to a child. That's not an adult to an adult. And unfortunately, when I got in this recent fight with my ex, she and I went to a baby level. We went to a child level where both feelings are hurt. People are feeling abandoned. People are feeling scared, and they start acting like children. I am not a child anymore. This is my first day of 44 years old, and I'm taking accountability as we speak. Let's go.
Failure to self-reflect and look inward.
Let's load.
In the vast landscape of personal growth, self-awareness forms a vital thread in the fabric. Genuine evolution requires facing our own shortcomings, recognizing the inherent imperfections and missteps that come with being human. This inward exploration is essential, a journey towards personal growth and enlightenment. However, for the narcissist, this path of self-discovery remains out of reach, obscured by layers of delusion and denial.
Yeah.
The hallmark of narcissism lies in its insidious ability to deflect accountability.
Damn, bro. The moment you don't give accountability is the moment you don't have empowerment. That's the thing. It's so weird, but it puts you right behind the driver's seat. You're going 200 miles an hour so everybody can see you, right? I'm feeling like I'm out of balance here. Let me put myself in balance. Fuck it. I want to be in the middle of the pole, but it's like on a thing. But whatever, bro. You're on this bump, though. Don't waste your life. You have to empower yourself. That's what my great aunt Marlene taught me. You know, you got to take care of you and yours. And it's so easy to put the blame on other people, the responsibility, the entitlement, the they should have loved me more, or I need a self-love. That was another fake thing that I was learning about too. It's a great way to be narcissistic instead of having empathy. And I see no empathy in this person. I saw no sympathy. I saw no care. It was just a crazy experience to see someone that I loved have the darkness in their eyes of psychopathy, just total no care whatsoever. I could be on fire in front of her. She could have to take a piss, and we would have a conflict.
Every stumble along the path of life is attributed to external forces, absolving the narcissist of any culpability. In their distorted worldview, they stand as paragons of perfection, faultless beings, untarnished by the trials and tribulations that plague mere mortals.
Yeah.
It is a narrative woven with threads of arrogance and entitlement. A tapestry of grandiosity
masking all of this.
A profound void within.
Yeah, you know what? It's vapid. Because you're going to want to pretend that you're important, but either all of us are going to die, like I was telling my friend. But not everybody lives, and not everybody lives in reality. They'll live in a place that you can cope. It's a place that we create when we're children. It's a strategy that we use to get over maybe a parent not loving us as much, or us not getting the attention that we thought we desired, or us in so much pain that this is the only place that we can feel pain free. Beware of this. This is where addiction starts. This is where these people come from. My people is that pain, that regret, that shame, this guilt. It'll drive you into a narcissistic belief. It'll drive you into doing drugs. It'll drive you fucking insane. And this is the reason why I want to see a psychologist this year. Is one of my goals on the goals list, is to make sure that I don't make these mistakes again. I'm done with Aquariuses, done with abuse, done with abortions, done with repeating my cycles. I don't need it to happen 3 times in a row. I need every year for the last 3 years. I need 2 times. Shame on me, shame on you, or first shame on you, then shame on me. I don't need to put you in the driver's seat. I need to put myself in the driver's seat and find out why I'm doing the things that I'm doing. Why do I find the need to date broken women or pick them apart? That seems to be my thing too. Like I'll after a while, the dust fades off, just like Chick said. You know, once the honeymoon's over, then you realize that you got a human in front of you with flaws, and then it's not perfect, and then you throw it away. Like, fuck you. You're not the right one for me. It's so easy to keep swiping left. It's not easy to swipe inside. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about swiping inside. They'll put it on the partner. You need to vet them more. Watch who you date. Watch red flags, but literally your red flags are bouncing off of the top of your head. And instead of taking flags off of the top of your head, off of the top of the hill, making a difference, guess what you do? You count other people's flags. This is the show for watching our own flags. This is a show for being like, yo, I'm accountable. And I'm culpable. And because I did this, because I put hands on you, because I left off of the motherfucking motorcycle, because I created untrust through fictitious boundaries, I also found out that boundaries aren't exterior. It's not to stop or control someone else. It's to control yourself. Okay? So by the time you slide my dick between your legs and then complain that I didn't fucking honor your celibacy, is the time that you confused me, yourself, and the truth. And then unfortunately this is what happens. So if you're truly celibate, you don't have sex before me, you don't have sex with me, and you don't have sex after me. All three are not true, so you're not telling the truth. And if you're not telling the truth, then you're living a grandiose lie. You want everybody to believe that you're a spiritual being, and the truth is that you're rotten, dog. You're rotten inside. It's not cool. It wasn't never gonna be cool to have that much pain. You have my empathy. It's like fuck, bro. To see people go through this shit. My buddy's still talking about. I found a good AA meeting to go to. I'm like, fuck, dude. By the time you're on that level, most people want to be like, I'm above it all. I'm spiritual. I do Reiki. I know I'm an INFJ. I'm the most most, what do they call it? The most rarest person type. I'm the rarest person type out there. You know, the rare people are the ones that have self control. That's the rarest out there. This is the truth of it, because most of us are going to be on ice in the morning, making noise, playing music, and having different Johns come out of their fucking room. But this is the truth of it, and I wanted to get to the truth of it, so we're gonna go keep digging.
This unwillingness to recognize one's own imperfections creates a desolate environment where personal development cannot thrive. Similar to a tree deprived of nourishment, the narcissist remains underdeveloped, with their foundation rooted in a mindset of victimization. They seek admiration and the illusion of superiority,
Right.
yet their pursuit is ultimately fruitless,
Right.
as they are trapped by their own self-imposed limitations.
Damn, bro. You want to be limitless? Get empowered. Get accountable. Get responsible. Like, put yourself in the driver's seat. You want it? You know, to say on here, it's like success. The success is what happens to you after you survived all your disappointments, bro. They're my freak flag, bro. My disappointments, my homelessness, my prisons, my inability to become a father. These are all my um, building blocks. These are the things that made me go, you're not so damn limitless. You're not so damn invincible. You are in a South Korean prison. You can be touched. There are ramifications for your answer, for your actions, and no means no, including no sex, including no weed, and including no to yourself.
The tragedy of the narcissist lies not in their grandiosity, but in their stagnation. Bereft of the humility to learn from their missteps, they wander aimlessly through the corridors of their existence,
Damn.
trapped in a labyrinth of self-delusion. Growth eludes them, a distant mirage shimmering on the horizon, forever out of reach. To leave a narcissist ensnared in this psychological quagmire is to consign them to a fate of perpetual repetition. Like a broken record, they will replay the same lamentations, the same grievances ad infinitum. A decade hence, they will remain unchanged, their essence frozen in time, a monument to the folly of their hubris.
Wow. The folly of our hubris. If you don't remember, hubris was the guy that went into, he had wax wings and he got too close to the sun and he fell from the earth, and his father helped him. His dad was the narcissist too. He helped him. You can fly to the sun. And he watched his son fall from grace, fall straight from the sun down to the earth, down to his death. And as much as we like to all be superstars, even superstars have fucking problems, bro. We see it time and time again. How many actors have overdosed or had a drug habit? Porn stars, you name it. We all like to go so close to the sun, but we're not meant to get that close to the sun. We're grateful to be 100 million miles away so that we don't burn up.
but a lot of us get burnt, and that's what I seem to have learned is that the closer I get to the flame is the closer I get to burning myself. And as long as I believe in the flame being external from me, the light outside of me, it's going to continually to burn me outside instead of burning within me, as in I have a desire to take responsibility, I have a desire to grow. And this is the reason I want to see a psychologist. I can't be doing these mistakes 2 times in a row. I am not interested in being the mistake master any longer. I want to be the mistake learner, bro. I want to be the guy that fucking can level up himself, control himself, and show himself that he's no longer trauma bonding. He's no longer interested in fixing other people. He's no longer compromising his life despite not living it, right? You know, I want to fucking thrive. I don't just want to survive. I want to be the best man that I can be. And that includes waking up early, that includes fasting, and then it also includes me learning. And this is what we're doing this morning. You're going to learn today.
Yet, amidst the bleakness of light, there exists a glimmer of hope. For even the most hardened narcissist is not impervious to the gentle touch of introspection. It is a journey fraught with peril, a descent into the depths of the self where shadows lurk and truths lie dormant. But for those brave enough to embark upon it, the rewards are boundless. By confronting their shortcomings, the narcissist lifts the veil of illusion that conceals their true existence.
It's me.
They directly encounter the inner demons that plague their psyche, bravely facing their inner darkness with resilience and determination.
Exercise the demons.
This process serves as a transformative crucible, a challenging experience that ultimately reshapes and strengthens the soul. Through humility, the narcissist discovers the true essence of growth. They learn to embrace their fallibility, to cherish their imperfections as sacred scars upon the canvas of their being.
Mostly saints.
In the crucible of self-awareness, they emerge not as gods, but as humble pilgrims, journeying ever onward towards the light.
Damn, the chick said that too. Give me a charismatic person, they're probably narcissistic. She also said, give me a charismatic person that's empathetic and you found a unicorn. Because it's so rare. All of us are tooting our own horn. All of us are posting selfies. All of us are in a competition for attention. And it's sickening. It really, it's baffling to me. Let me grab a pillow. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. Another beautiful day to fix this topic, bro. Fix this inside topic, man. We ain't trying to be on the external no more. We want to be in the driver's seat. Let's go.
Therefore, let us not forsake the narcissist to their destiny, but instead offer them compassion and empathy.
Yeah, man. Who wants
Beneath
to see
their
that?
facade of pride lies a wounded spirit seeking healing and redemption. Although the path ahead may be challenging and demanding, it is a voyage of great significance. Through the process of self-discovery, even the most resistant heart can discover comfort and renewal. Number 2, they lack belief.
Bro. Damn, bro. That shit was crazy right there. To be able to say that you're not always be the victim, that you don't always have to be stuck in that role of the world is mean to me and the world's not nerfed for me, but I can learn about me so that way I have the skill set to go into the world. That right there is important. Because honestly, we are all flawed. And in the moment that we see ourselves it's less special and more together, you kind of start seeing humans that way too. You see narcissists, you see sad people, you see this amount of pain. You're like, Jesus, bro, like this is an actual disease, right? It's ruining your life, and I hate watching it happen to you. Like, as mad as I am, I don't want retribution. I'm gonna tell my truth, and I know it's gonna hurt her feelings. But it also isn't aimed to be like in a pain. It's aimed to be like, look, dude, if you swallow some truth pills and they're jagged little pill, like a jagged little pill, if you swallow some truth pills, things can move forward. You can end your pain. You can be like, I shouldn't put hands on you. I shouldn't have fucking picked you apart and devalue you. I shouldn't have disrespected you and ran off with other dudes. You can come to a conclusion and be like, that's my mistake. I fucked up. And instead of doubling down on, oh, I should be allowed to have male friends, or now we can ensure paternity. We can't say whose kid it is. because we make mistakes and we constantly like to scroll off and ADHD and point the finger. But you know when you know. You know what I mean? You know when you know. You know when you know. I put her in a headlock. I shouldn't have. I can tell you that she was trying to headbutt me and she was too close to me and we were in a melee and wrestling. I still was trying to restrain her. I was still keeping her from the door. I wanted it to talk. I demanded to talk. It's a form of control. And in my narcissism, I thought I could do that. I thought I could fix the situation by being more violent, or a person that was already scared is now extremely fearful of me. And this is the second time it's happened, and I have to admit and regret and what's the other one? Confess. Because then it's like I can come from a position of truth. I can come from a position that I'm not just some uh, hapless being. No, ma'am, no, sir. I participated in it. I fess up. I got baited and it got switched. And anytime you lose your self control, you're going to pay a consequence. It sucks, but it's true. Every time, every time.
Process of self-discovery, even the most resistant heart can discover comfort and renewal. Number 2, they lack belief in working together and prefer solely to engage in competition. The narcissist, enclosed within the stronghold of their ego, stands isolated amidst life's chaos. Collaboration, fundamental for growth and advancement, remains beyond their reach as they are constrained by self-absorption. In their perspective, only their own needs and desires hold significance,
Right.
making the idea of teamwork unfamiliar and unattainable.
Wow.
In any environment where collaboration is paramount, the narcissist is akin to a solitary figure adrift in a sea of interconnectedness. Their fixation on self precludes them from partaking in the communal endeavor of growth, leaving them stranded on the shores of stagnation. For how can one advance when their gaze is fixed solely upon themselves, blind to the myriad opportunities for mutual support and enrichment?
Self-sabotage.
Consider, for instance, the delicate dance of co-parenting, a realm where collaboration is not merely beneficial, but essential for the well-being of all involved. Here, the narcissist's self-centered approach wreaks havoc, poisoning the well of familial harmony with its toxic brew. Rather than embracing the shared responsibility of nurturing their offspring, the narcissist seeks only to bask in the adulation of their progeny, vying for the title of the favored parent. But this quest for validation comes at a steep cost, for the narcissist's focus on self-aggrandizement blinds them to the needs of their children.
Damn.
Discipline becomes a foreign concept, and boundaries and mere obstacles are to be disregarded in pursuit of their own desires.
Right.
The result is a landscape
No matter
littered
what.
with the wreckage of fractured relationships and wounded souls, as the children are unwittingly drawn into the vortex of their parents' narcissism.
Damn.
Every interaction becomes a battleground, and every exchange is a contest for supremacy. Collaboration is but a distant dream, for it requires a level of selflessness that the narcissist is incapable of mustering.
Yeah, best of the best, head of the rest is what my father would teach us, and it breeds you as an ultimate competitor. Learning about these things, they want you to be confident, they want you to be charismatic, but they also want you to win. And especially in America, if you're second place, you're the first loser. And we give these guys more money, we give these guys power positions. They end up becoming entrepreneurs. Uh, when you're doing things by yourself, they say you can go by yourself faster or better together is one of my favorite, because there's so much work that I do that has to do with teams, it has to do with friends, it has to do with investors that's outside of me. When I was talking to one of my investors last night, it turned out that I was playing on my phone, and I was like, if this money is important to you, you'd get off your phone. If that your attention was paying you, you'd put your attention elsewhere. But someone was willing to just throw our attention span out the window and wonder why the opportunities are getting missed. That in itself, that lack of self-discipline to get off your phone, or stop being a victim, or trying to mask everything, is literally killing your opportunities. The person that was about to give you the opportunity is going to feel slighted. They're going to feel used and abused, and therefore they're not going to be a part of your storyline anymore. The reason why I was eating alone last night is because you can't buy care. My buddy was talking about it. You can't buy love. You can't make people care and love when you want them to. That's just not how it works. So we're going to have to let that on
Their
slide.
worldview is a narrow one, constrained by the confines of their own ego, where the needs of others are but a faint echo drowned out by the clamor of their own desires. From the perspective of the narcissist, winning is everything, and they will employ any means necessary to attain
So
it.
if the second
They
place guy
engage in
dies,
manipulation, gaslighting, and distortion of reality to fit their narrative, portraying their co-parent as the antagonist in a self-fashioned, distorted drama. As their children observe this unfolding drama, they grapple with conflicting feelings of loyalty towards their parents and a growing awareness that something is not right. Yet, amidst the chaos, there remains a glimmer of hope. For just as the narcissist is incapable of true collaboration, so too are they incapable of true fulfillment. Their
Damn.
victories are hollow, their triumphs fleeting, for they are built upon a foundation of deceit and self-deception.
wow.
And though they may appear to reign supreme in the eyes of the world, they are but prisoners of their own ego, trapped in a cycle of perpetual discontent. Therefore, let us resist the allure of the narcissist's ego and instead aim to establish connections based on mutual respect and empathy. Genuine growth and fulfillment emerge from collaborative efforts where individuals unite not in solitude, but in harmony with like-minded souls sharing a common vision of a better future. Now, before we continue, fellow aficionados,
This is something else, man. This is something else, because it's one of those things that I see um, how the competition in me killed opportunity, and how sticking to the ego, sticking to the story, sticking to the grandiosity literally abandons the lesson in it. You still think that everybody thinks you're shiny, right? But in all actuality, you're empty, and it's so fucked up. You don't want to be empty at all. You want to be fulfilled. You want to be full. You don't want to look at other people's cups. You don't want to be envious. You don't want to be jealous. And we all participate in it. That's why we buy all the products that we do. That's why we're always competing with the Joneses. That's the monkey in you. And like any good monkey, you're gonna want the grape, not the carrot. And if you see somebody else getting a bunch of grapes, you're gonna wonder why. And it makes it easy for us to want to eat what someone else is eating instead of and live a lie, than to be like, I don't have these things. I don't have the money to afford the clothes that I'm buying. I need to stop retail therapy. I need to stop pretending like my shit don't stink. You know, we're always on a campaign to prove that we are the virtues that we signal. And the truth is that we're also the flaws that we hide. So this is why Saint's Addiction was so important to me, because it was just like, you know, sure, I'm saintly, but I do my best. You know, I can be a nice person. I can be empathetic. I can be charismatic. I could be your best friend. But at the same time, I could also switch up on you, not be your best friend anymore. I could also be an asshole, pick you apart, and psychoanalyze you. And I can also be impatient and have a temper. And all of a sudden, you're going to be like, what happened to that cool guy that was here a second ago? It's like, that's some bipolar activity. That's a mood switch. That's in my capabilities. And one of the cool things about human beings is we exhibit the behaviors. We always show you who we really are. Eventually, there won't be enough supply for the other person, because that person disappears. They're not telling their stories at dinner. They're always having to live in the drama, the make-believe drama, like you said, just to keep things exciting. People get so addicted to drama. It's the only way that they can get attention or feel fulfilled. And instead of apologizing and acknowledging, taking accountability for our actions, we'll play the role of the victim, because it keeps us in that angel-like state. We don't want anyone to see our addictions. We don't want anyone to see our flaws. And this is why this might hurt my ex, but it's not meant to hurt her. If she goes like, yeah, there's some truth to that, there's some validity to that, he's valid on those points, then it doesn't hurt. If it's her ego, then it'll be taken personally. It'll be taken attack, and then it'll be like, oh, dude, he's attacking me again on social media for the world to see. No, sir, no, ma'am. I'm in it with you, dude. I'm in it with you. I'm part narcissistic too. I'm on the scale. It's just a little bit above healthy. There's healthy narcissism, but then there's the full I need to fucking hurt someone else to feel better, or I don't want to allow other people to feel good, or I'm so damn toxic inside that it spills over and it bleeds onto someone else. I'm just not interested. I'd rather be alone, you know? Remember he called me a sex addict and sleeping alone even through my birthday, going home early, and staying off the drugs, staying sober. This is me.
For more thought-provoking discussions and insights like this, I highly encourage you to subscribe to Daily Stoic 2, Nature, Resilience, and the Pursuit of Wisdom. Stay connected with Daily Stoic 2, and our the narcissist's nature is characterized by a that remains just out of reach. Resemble wanderers in a desolate desert, continuously chasing solace, fleeting mirages that disappear as swiftly as they materialize. Their passions, akin to fleeting shadows, briefly flicker and then fade away, leaving behind only a hollow echo of their presence. At the heart of this restlessness lies a fundamental disconnect from their true selves. Unlike most individuals, fulfillment in the simple pleasures of life, the narcissist remains estranged from the wellspring of their own being.
Damn.
For them, satisfaction is not merely a state of abundance, but an elusive chimera that forever taunts them from the shadows. Consider, for instance, the allure of material possessions.
Addicted to achievement.
While for many the acquisition of goods brings a fleeting sense of joy, for the narcissist is but a hollow victory. No matter how many cars they hoard, no matter how many houses they move, the void within remains unfilled. It is as if they are attempting to pour water into a bottomless pit, their efforts doomed to failure from the outset.
Wow.
Their interests, too, are fleeting and ephemeral, like flames flickering in the wind. One moment they are enamored with a new hobby, only to discard it the next in search of the next fleeting thrill.
Oh, that didn't work.
Their lives resemble a whirlwind of activity, a frenetic dance of constant movement and change. Yet beneath the surface lies a profound emptiness, a void that no amount of external stimulation can hope to fill.
And usually that comes from our parents, you know, trying to chase our mother's attention or father's attention, daddy issues, mommy issues. You know, it's a lot of in our attachment styles. We might not even know, bro. This is the sad part. And this is why my heart goes out to her, because you don't even know that you're doing it. When I was being really narcissistic, it felt like it was their job to make me happy in a relationship. It was like you could be doing no wrong, and I'd still find a way to find something to pick you apart about. It was your job to make me happy. This is a bad philosophy, and anytime you made a mistake, you're going to be crucified for it instead of understood for it, or try to build connection before conflict. I didn't try to connect before I conflicted. I was just conflicting all the time. It was a competition. It's like, you're making mistakes. You need to know about it. As your teammate, I should point it out and ride your ass about it. It makes you a horrible teammate. And an example, when I had with the ex running around trying to get her paperwork done for something that was going on in Norway, and it was her appointment, and she wasn't prepared. But the first thing she did is she infighted with me, and I couldn't believe it when it happened. But when it happened, I'm like, I can't believe you just said that. But she's like, she said something to the effect of, "I thought you had this handled." And I was like, this is your responsibility. Are you the type of teammate that says, you dropped the ball, you miss, not me miss, you miss, you miss, you miss, instead of going, sometimes me miss, sometimes I miss. You could be the teammate that rides someone and go, what the fuck, bro? You're paid. You're a professional, man. You can't be dropping balls. What's the confidence level of that person, right? Same for the sensitive person. When I couldn't be sensitive with them, by the time it was time, I was always just hard. It was just like, yo, life is hard. Get tough. Get strong. Life isn't going to mend around you. You're not going to find the perfect person. You need to be a vision for a vision. You have to have grow thick skin and realize that the world isn't so rainbows and butterflies. It has a tough exterior. It has lies. It has manipulation. It has Machiavellian techniques. And even if you don't participate in them, doesn't mean that they're not going on around you, and doesn't mean you should get hit to the game and play the game, because everybody's playing games. That's the next book I'm going to do a review on.
Why do they persistently pursue novelty with such fervor? The explanation lies in the transient thrill of euphoria that accompanies every new acquisition, every new triumph. Similar to addicts in pursuit of their next high, narcissists are compelled by an unquenchable thirst for validation and admiration. Each new possession or conquest acts as a temporary remedy for their wounded ego, offering a brief reprieve from the inner void they grapple with.
Your dad's attention.
Yet for all their frenetic activity, the narcissist remains trapped in a prison of their own making. Their lives are devoid of meaning, devoid of purpose, as they lurch from one fleeting pleasure to the next in a death.
That's a sad feeling too, right there. He just said it. Your own prison. I fucking worked my ass off to get out of actual prison, like to be free and do something with my days, and not behind a lock, and not with walls behind me, and to be able to execute the things that are inside of me. Can you imagine? Can you imagine living in your own prison? It could be your own body. You could be overweight, and even if you wanted to go for a quick run, it ain't there. You know, going to swim in the ocean, going to make love. Your body's done trapped you. You've literally created your own prison. You're trapped inside yourself, and you're the only one listening. That's a scary proposition.
Desperate bid to fill the void within. And in their ceaseless pursuit of satisfaction, they leave behind a trail of broken relationships and shattered dreams. Their insatiable appetite for validation, leaving a wake of destruction in its path.
And who doesn't?
So how can we begin to understand the weaknesses of the narcissist? It begins with a recognition of their fundamental disconnect from their true selves, a realization that beneath the facade of grandiosity lies a wounded soul yearning for redemption. By acknowledging their flaws and vulnerabilities, we can begin to unravel the tangled web of their psyche, offering them the compassion and understanding they so desperately crave.
Yeah, bro,
Ultimately,
you're not alone. All of us want to be millionaires. All of us want to have perfect partners. All of us want to look good in the photos. You're not alone. Everybody wants praise. Everybody wants acknowledgement. We're born that way. Unfortunately, right? This doesn't sustain us. It's not sustainable. You know, having someone else validate us will never be self-confidence. It will never be the internal fire that we need to breathe. If we're always looking for external validation, for other people to approve of us, then we're always going to lose the vote. People are too fickle for that shit. You need to not be fickle with yourself. That's the hard part. And the hard part is to admit that you're not perfect, to give yourself hall passes, but most importantly, bro, stop being so hard on yourself. You're not perfect. None of us are. And by the way, you're learning while you're mistaking. This is really what's happening.
Path to healing commences with a decisive first step. A readiness to acknowledge and address the inner shadows while embracing the illumination of self-awareness. Together, as companions on this journey, we can initiate the process of restoration, rebuilding what has been fractured and paving the way toward a more hopeful future, anchored in empathy, compassion, and comprehension. Number 4. Their fear of embarrassment drives them to obsess over how they're perceived and their appearance in front of others.
Yeah.
The dread of humiliation is a potent motivator that compels individuals to fixate on how they are perceived by others.
Right, watching my fucking post, having her friends watch my post. I told her not to watch my post. She calls it a vlog. I call it a show. Dude, everyone's going to have difference of opinions. Every wife bitches to her friends about her man's inabilities. We talk shit about each other. It's not supposed to be. You're supposed to be their biggest cheerleader. But you have opinions that you're hiding away from your lovers. You have a mimicking of your boss and people that are in power positions. You know, like I know, no one's perfect, and we sit there and we point out our imperfections constantly. That's going to happen regardless.
And their conduct in social environments. This apprehension is especially heightened in individuals exhibiting narcissistic traits, who might exhibit outward confidence and appear immune to shame, yet harbor profound shame about their authentic selves.
Man, she was telling me that she had imposter syndrome. But the tough part is that telling me to switch her photo off when she left me. It wasn't what I said on the show. It was how she would be appeared. She doesn't want anyone to know that she's fragile, that she's committed violence upon people. She doesn't want anyone to know that she has a short temper and that she can be extremely brutal. Why would you want anyone to know your flaws at all? Because it could combine you with people. It binds us. My truth in my show binds people to it because there's no shadow. It's like if I put some shade on it, you know, if I try to hide it under some shit, you will smell it. It will grow into the fucking truth. And covering it up and masking it, it doesn't make it not stinky. Telling people that you shit the bed lets them know that they're not, that you are one of them, because they have also shit the bed. They have also taken too many pills. They have also passed out and looked weird, and their friends wrote dickhead on their forehead. They've also have made mistakes and probably have gotten drunk and said things that they didn't want to say, and the truth serum came out. This all has happened to all of us. Get ready
Beneath the
for
surface,
embarrassment.
this hidden shame significantly influences their behaviors and interactions with others. Narcissists are deeply insecure individuals who are constantly running away from their inner shame.
Damn.
Anything that threatens to expose this shame triggers a defensive reaction, often manifesting as narcissistic rage.
Oh my God,
Even
was it
seen
rageful? Man, you wouldn't think this beautiful, small, petite person had it in them, but there's all sorts of types, man. It don't matter what size you are. It doesn't matter if you're male or female. You will lash out. How dare you tell my truth? How dare you post my photo? How dare you make me look bad, bro? It isn't the fact that you look bad. It isn't the fact that you took the pills and you left me and you passed out. It didn't matter what I actually was saying. It's the way that you were perceived, and that was your ego. Hey, can you make me not make me look so bad? Can you edit those photos? Can you delete that? How many people after taking a photo want to make a stupid comment like, "Oh, I don't look good at that"? Take another one. Take them till I look good, and only when I look good can we talk about me. Because God forbid that I fart and doesn't, and roses don't really smell like poo, 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 poo.
innocuous remarks or comments can provoke an extreme response from a narcissist, leaving others bewildered by the sudden outburst.
What the fuck? I just put
To
a fan
manage
on.
their shame, narcissists create intricate personas to showcase to the world. These personas portray an aura of superiority, greatness,
I'm a
and flawlessness,
super empath.
concealing the inner
It's
turmoil
all
and
their
insecurity
fault.
they
I didn't
feel.
miss an opportunity.
Sustaining these
I also
facades
want-
demands significant effort and energy.
Yeah, dude, I almost wanted to be that way too. It'd just be like, you know, I lost an ex-sex worker, can't turn a hoe into a housewife. I lost a beautiful girl that had plastic surgery and made herself beautiful, but she didn't want to be beautiful inside or treat people beautifully outside. And because of insecurities, mine alone too, that I can't just watch my girl go off on a motorcycle with some other dude, especially when they just moved in and only been back for 2 days. That shit was the breakup for me. My insecurities couldn't handle it. Maybe I am too controlling. Maybe I am too possessive. Maybe that is my bike and I don't want my friends to ride it and I don't want you dancing with them. That's me. It's my own insecurities. We all have them, man. We're all out to dinner, but we can't afford it. Or we're flashing our clothing and our cars, but we have payments. And we want the world to believe that we are happy, so we post those kind of things, but the truth of it is that we're dying inside, right? All of us. Loneliness is an epidemic. Connectedness is at an all-time low, and communication is something you ain't gonna do if you don't think that you're not right, you're right, or you judge it as them right, they're black and white thinking, right or wrong, instead of, man, my miss, your miss could be my miss. But you got to be able to sit there and say it could be my miss. That's a humbling experience. That's something most people don't want to do. They don't want to give people the leverage in the conversation. I'll even help her conversation out. I'll admit that I can be too intense. I can admit that I can be very lawyer when it comes to arguments, and sit there with the details and go do my research and have rapid fire for whatever she was about to say. And then, of course, she wanted to take notes and tried to kill the narcissist in me and be like, proof to me that I'm at fault. See, I have all these things that you've done and said, and I wrote them down. I'm over here writing timelines, trying to say your actions prove what I'm saying is right. Both of us are right. You know what's wrong? The way we've been treating each other. That's wrong. The way that we've talked to each other, the abuse shared, me included. You know, I shouldn't have fought back. I shouldn't be putting anybody in a headlock. I should not be restraining anybody from catching a door. And I shouldn't be intimidating anybody, especially people that are scared. And sure, I was frustrated, and sure, I was sick of fucking trying to beg for some humanity from this person, from some eye contact even. But at a certain point, even if you're frustrated, you still don't get an excuse. And it's no one's job to take care of you. It's no one's job to tiptoe around you. It's no one's job to make sure that you're not frustrated. It's your job to control you. And this is why it's an inside job. This is why happiness is an inside job. That's why this isn't an external thing. This is something that you yourself have to work on, not somebody else. You can't put it on somebody else. This is your work that needs to be done. And until you do this work, this inside work, this shadow work, you aren't right inside. You will forever come out sideways. Something will come out that you won't want it to come out. You'll act like a child again. You'll be triggered. You'll be insecure, and you'll be vulnerable. And only in these positions will you get to learn from yourself. Only when you expose your white underbelly, the white underbelly, the big belly, the white underbelly of our lives. So you expose the soft parts of yourself. You're gonna forever hide behind the hard parts. You're gonna be like, well, I'm well, at least I'm pretty. Well, that'll work for me. Till you treat people pretty on a consistent basis and show love, then it won't work. And like my spiritual mentor Terry Prince wrote the other day, he shared on my page. He said, um, um, "Love never fails. If it failed, it's not real love because love never fails." Right? So love never gives up on other people. They never stop trying to heal. They never stop trying to feel, empathize, and understand, and see it from the other position. That's a tough thing to do. To get that much awareness of yourself isn't something that a lot of people want to do. They'd much rather live in the delusion because it's just easier. It's really hard to fucking face shame. It's really fucking hard to face guilt and admit. I do it all the time on a live because I'm used to it, but I don't like admitting that I had an abortion. That means it's a failure on me, dude. I don't like admitting that I don't have any money and my businesses aren't successful, my websites aren't up. That's a failure on me. I don't like that I ate dinner last night alone and none of my friends are here, or like some of my friends, but I had to go to bed alone, and I'm scaring the women in my life away from me. That's not a badge of honor, bro. It's not like it's like sitting here like Ryan Garcia going like, yeah, I drink every day. I'm not proud of it. I'm just saying I could whip his ass on a drunk day. That's all cocky, dude. You'd be the same one getting knocked out because you drank too much anyway. You know what I mean? Like it's the same consequences for all of us. We're all gonna get this amount of depression and anxiety and triggers because it's not handled. And until you fix the topic, right, it's always going to be a topic. And we're almost done with this. Let's go.
As narcissists invest heavily in guarding their true selves from exposure or examination.
Right.
Unfortunately, this relentless pursuit of maintaining their facade comes at a significant cost,
Always.
often resulting in the exploitation and manipulation of their loved ones.
Damn.
Narcissists
That's
may
a
use
plot.
their family members as trophies to bolster their own image in the eyes of
Vampire.
others, without regard for the emotional well-being of those they exploit. For example, a narcissistic parent may exploit their children or spouse to enhance their own public image, using them as props to garner admiration and validation
So
from
kids.
others. The psychological impact of being objectified in this manner can be profound, causing lasting harm to the individuals involved. Ultimately, the cycle of shame and facade maintenance perpetuated by narcissists leads to a breakdown in genuine human connection and empathy.
Mm.
By prioritizing their own image over the well-being of others, narcissists sacrifice meaningful relationships and perpetuate a cycle of emotional manipulation and abuse.
Wow. Mic drop. Yeah, I mean, they say hurt people hurt people. You're just gonna go through and hurt people, and that was one of the comments she made me. I don't want to hurt you. It means that you know that you are hurting me, and you don't have the empathy to stop it. That's what that means. And in me, I'm like, I realized that every time I showed up, she's getting triggered. She's regressing. She's getting further down the cave. I'm trying to chase after her. Everybody knows you don't chase a man into the man cave. Everybody needs enough time. I thought I gave enough time. I thought I walked away enough, but I'm just not gentle enough. I wasn't empathetic enough. I don't think I could ever be, actually. These people need more than I can give. They need it from themselves, and that's what I was actually realizing. And being a recovering narcissist, they'll never be external anyway. Everything that I want can't be bought. And the success of my business, the success of my life and my health can't be handed to me. I can't expect you to give me my health. And um, I can expect you to give me my wealth and buy shirts and participate and like and subscribe and all that shit's fun and all. But it doesn't help me sleep at night, right? This isn't how that works. This is going to be a you job. Are you grateful? Are you practicing accountability? Are you not just regretful, but actually practicing giving and altruistic behaviors? This outside of me. It's easy to be, I'm gonna save the planet. I'm such a nice person. I'll fucking pet every dog in the street, even ones that bite me. That's piety. That's piousness. That's virtue signaling. That's just you trying to pretend to be it. Um, the act of practicing it, and I'm not walking on water. I'm not Jesus, right? This is what I'm saying. And I bet you're not Mahatma Gandhi or Martin Luther King Jr. I'm sure that you're not going to have peaceful resistance and empathy when someone's cursing at you and telling you fuck you in the morning. It's really, really hard to be superhuman, right? Like everybody wants to be a super empath. These sets probably won't be with you when these things happen. You know what I mean? It's just like when your parents argued in front of you. I'm sure they didn't want to argue in front of you, but they couldn't control their temper to bring the argument somewhere else. So good luck. You know what I mean? This is real shit. It's real tough.
The fear of embarrassment and deep-seated shame felt by narcissists motivates them to build intricate masks to conceal their authentic selves from the world. However, this constant facade maintenance undermines genuine human connections and empathy, as narcissists prioritize their own image over the welfare of those close to them. It is essential to acknowledge and comprehend the dynamics of narcissistic behavior to break away from the cycle of manipulation and exploitation. Number 5. They are addicts, addiction-based personality patterns. The entire behavioral pattern of a narcissist is centered around addiction, stemming from an unquenchable desire for the highs they derive from social interactions and material acquisitions. Their relentless pursuit of validation and admiration drives them to seek various forms of gratification.
Jesus. And if it isn't being addicted to a drug or a feeling, right? It's addicted to actions. You know what I mean? The compulsion to want to have sex is really strong within me. I feel more bonded to the person. I feel gratification. He talks about going the lengths of gratification. It sucks that narcissism applies to me. It sucks that my addiction is still my flaw. That my past haunts me. That I'm always going to look for satiation, gratification, and I think it's all human beings to every certain extent, whether it's coffee, sex, or organizing things. You know, we can be so compulsive. Everyone has some kind of form of CPTSD, a complex post-traumatic stress disorder, some form of narcissism, and some form of psychopathy. Either way, you have some kind of attachment style, and these things bleed into us. It's a trip, and you might not see it, but it's happening, and it fucking sucks, dude. It sucks that I have to be addicted to praise. It sucks that I'm trying to do all these cool things like a weed magazine, or travel the world, or throw a weed festival, um, to impress a father that doesn't call me. Right? You know, I could light the world on fire, and he would notice. And how hard have I been on top of that diving board before I belly flopped at 8 years old and my dad had to dive in and come get me? This is the extent of what I'm willing to do to get attention. I go and do a morning motivation every morning. I got to be the good son. I had to have good grades. You have to have good grades. You have to be successful. Either have a job or be in sports. Best of the best, head of the rest. Basically, you're not enough mentality, and then it makes me a competitor. It makes me a stone cold killer where I'm like, I gotta be good. It's not enough just to be a participant in it. I don't want your participation award. I want that first place trophy that has my name on it already. Yeah, that kind of attitude is great for business. It's great for sports. It's great for um, getting shit done. It's horrible for relationships. It leaves no space for mistakes. It leaves no barrier between me and my gratification. It leaves me chasing This is what's weird, especially after doing all my goals and getting the buzz off of accomplishing things, and now it's just kind of boring. Nobody cares how many languages I speak. They don't care how many countries I've been, and they barely care where I'm really from. I could toot my own horn. I'm like, I'm from Vegas, the Las Vegas original. Please follow my page. I could virtue signal. Yes, I'm a saint. That's my last name. I feed the homeless. I could ride your adulations into the sunset. The tough part is I have to be me at sunset. I have to sit there by myself and not get to share it with anyone else because everybody's sick of my accomplishments. They're sick of the Saint show, the Mark show that has been going on for over an hour. They don't want to be a part of it. You know what I mean? They tapped out, bro. They were like, this is an old ass show. And the only show that you needed to grow is your inner show. You know, you got to show yourself, the only self that's listening, the only self that's paying attention, that you have some self control, that you can actually be valuable and work on these mistakes, that it wasn't just her, bro. I'd love to sit here and be like, man, she left me on a motorcycle. Well, if I was more secure, well, if she communicated more, it would have worked out. And I tried to tell myself, man, she's just off on her friend, but I knew I couldn't sit there all day with my dick in my hand and just be like, oh, my girl's off with someone else for 4 days straight. If she had came back later that night, I guess we could have talked and figured it out and I would have known. But no, no, not much respect. You were gone for 4 days, and you call it real love. I love them so much. Fuck, if you love me so much, what are you doing disappearing after you moved in, dog? What are you doing pushing off on me and getting physical with me, on the dance floor or wanting to dance with my other friends? What is that all about, bro? So, till you can identify with yourself, not just my ex, me, myself, and you, yourself, and sit there and be like, fuck, dude, I've been chasing. One of my favorite magazines said that one time too. It was just like, are you doing this to beat your dad? And it was just like, yeah, a lot of that is that. If you want to talk to yourself and prove someone wrong, that said something bad about you, someone that their opinion means a lot to you, you're going to do all sorts of weird shit to make that shit a reality. And I kind of didn't want to be a part of it. It's almost like retail therapy. It's not that you really wanted the makeup. You're trying to make up for lost aesthetics. You're trying to be appeasing to the opposite sex, because we all want validity. Who doesn't want to be checked out? Do you want to be ignored? Do you want to be fat? Do you want to be unhealthy? No one's lining up in that line. Not even Lizzo wants to be fat, bro. Everybody wants to be healthy. Everybody wants to look their best. Nobody wants to show their weakness. That's why it's so tough being overweight. It's because you show your inability of self-control up front. Most, especially when you're like selling cars, most addicts, they look professional as fuck, bro. They're your lawyer, they're your salesman, they're charismatic, and then at the same time, they're also the addict. They're the ones that are snorting lines on their lives with their friends watching on Messenger, just doing fucking rails of ketamine, and just disassociated that they're using in front of people. They might not even know, that they're doing blow in the back, or that they keep touching their fucking nose, like my friend. Hi, Mark, I did not see you. It's nice to see you. Nice to see. And that smells good. But she kept touching her nose, and it was just like, you don't want to be insecure, but the act of insecurity, the fact that you can even feel the tingle on your nose. I used to have coke nose too, but you don't want people to know you're coke. You want to feel great, and you don't want them to know, but you can't stop touching your nose and signaling to them. You know what I mean? You're signaling to them that you're actually on blow. So you're giving yourself away no matter what. I mean, eventually you can do all the signaling you want, but people will see that light, and that's unfortunate. I think we think that we're way slicker than we are. Like, well, maybe if I'll just stop answering the phone. Our friends know when we're hiding. You know what I mean? Our friends know when we're telling the truth. Shit, you should know if you're telling the truth. So it's to thy own self be true. You can live the lie. You can chase the accomplishments. You can hope that everybody follows you. But unless you follow your soul, your path, your passion, it's a vapid race. It's like you're going to nowhere. You know what I mean? It's the path to Narnia. It's the path to nowhere. Because at the end of the path, there's no self gratification. I've done it. I've been on top of the world many a times, whether it be Machu Picchu or the Great Wall of China or Christ the Redeemer, these high points with these really cool relics and seven ancient wonders of the world. At the same time, everybody that's ever been there is dead now. You know what I mean? Like, and eventually I'll be dead with it too. Like these things don't last. I'm doing it all alone. And it started to dawn in on me. I was just like, it's cool and all that I'm cool and all and I'm doing cool things. It is not cool to do them alone. It is not cool to fucking be the only one to fucking talk about it, and the only thing I can do is post about it. If that's the end result, if you're doing it just for the gram, you know, if you want to let the world, the 12 people that are watching you daily, and the six thumbs up that you get every time, if that's your validation, right? Like if you got to signal to the world, hey, I'm alive and I think this and this is the way that I feel, right? You start losing authenticity. Who cares what other people think, bro? You're the only one that has to listen to you. It's such a weird thing, but most of us aren't talking exactly nice to ourselves, right? And then the people around us, we're waiting for validation from them, and they might not even talk nice to us, bro. You might be with a narcissist. You might be with a psychopath. You might be with a person that doesn't care about you, bro. And we'll be all out there trying to fucking get my dad's attention when he doesn't care about me. That's like, that hurts my heart to say, bro. Even when I say it, it's like, dude, he says that he loves me, but I ain't seen this motherfucker in forever. You know what I mean? I have to have children to get him to text me. And when I lost my kid, guess who stopped texting me? Conditional love. So it's just one of those things where I thought, like, man, not only did I lose my child, I lost my dad. I lost my mother. She started smoking again. She promised me as soon as she had grandchildren, she stopped smoking. So much on the line, so much health, so much hope is now turned around, and it's now the promises are broken, and people are hurt, and things haven't been accomplished, and unfortunately, this is the reality.
Some become entangled in addictions to sex. Others cling tightly to wealth. And some spiral into dependencies on substances like drugs and alcohol.
Okay.
Their very existence becomes reliant on external stimuli, making them more codependent than individuals typically identified as such. At the root of this dependency lies a profound fear of solitude and introspection. Incapable of facing the darkness within themselves, they desperately seek distractions to evade their inner turmoil.
Right. At every bar.
Emotionally, narcissists lack self-regulation, relying instead on external crutches to pacify their tumultuous inner landscape.
Bro, and that's
Despite
what I
their
get.
facade of control, they remain.
That's what I fucking got, you know, out of me not drinking, is you get the people to face themselves. There's that moment, like, you don't drink, and then they start sizing me up. Well, you smoke weed, and you're not perfect either. And I'm like, man, I got some addiction. I'll tell you up front, I'm not perfect. I did the same drugs you did, bro. I'm just saying it didn't work for me. I'm not here to preach to you what's going to work for you. But they have that moment where they have to look inside themselves and literally say, hi, everybody, I have no self-control. I'll be here every day drinking my tits off, like the girl said, and being fucked and wondering why nobody respects them, wondering why she's blowing out her knee and had 4 different surgeries. You're overweight, honey. You have no self-control. You can wear the high-waisted pants. You could cover the belly, wear baggy shirts. We cover up a lot of fucking not healthy truths, but it's going to hurt you. Like, that's the shitty part. Like, you're going to go through a lot of fucking pain first, and that's why shadow work almost never gets touched. I mean, regret and being honest to people, I don't like telling people I've been to South Korean prison. I kind of wait till, like, I kind of get to know them first. At first I was kind of bleeding and leading with it, but you can be judged by it, and then that pain from that shame is almost intolerable. I need you to believe that I'm just perfect and I'm a super empath and that I'm a really nice person and I care deeply about people, till I don't, right? That's what the girl was saying. Till all of a sudden you're a human with flaws. Fuck you. I went from I love you so much, let's get married, honeymoon, to fuck you in the mornings, get that fucking fan off me, and I'm abusing you again? Bro, it's shameful. It hurts, dude. It hurts to say that I grabbed on my fucking ex and said, get your fat ass out of the car. Not only did I call her a name, because that's what my father would have done, right? He wouldn't have just said, get out of the fucking car. He would have said, get your fat ass out of the car. And she was pregnant. She's not fat. She's got my 5-month-old child inside of her. And not even born yet, unborn child inside of her, and I'm scaring her. I'm scaring the child. I'm putting my own fetus, my own future in harm's way. And that's when I saw my narcissism. That I couldn't even care about the baby. It's so fucking embarrassing and disgusts me, bro. Like, I have the toughest time with this. This is the biggest regret of my life if I didn't just do that. And this is what homegirl said too. She's like, if I fucked up, if I'm gonna regret this for the rest of my life, because here we had real love. And once again, I self-sabotaged. I ran off with someone else. I created insecurities in my man. I made him rethink his own reality about me. I pushed him into adultery and pushed him into the other arms of another woman again, because I wanted to do something selfishly. I didn't want to explain or communicate. I wanted what I wanted, and it didn't matter that this person didn't feel wanted. What I want supersedes what you want, and that's what happened. I got what I wanted. And how many people are like that? You're gonna get it.
Utterly powerless over their own impulses and emotions.
Yeah, just run off.
Outbursts of rage and aggression serve as stark reminders of their emotional immaturity, akin to a child trapped in an adult's body. Their lives become consumed by an incessant pursuit of gratification, perpetuating a cycle of addiction where they move from one source of stimulation to another in a relentless quest to fill the void within. This perpetual cycle of addiction dictates their every action, leaving little room for genuine self-awareness or personal growth. Rather than confronting their inner demons, narcissists bury themselves deeper in their addictive patterns, perpetuating a cycle of dependency and dissatisfaction. In summary, the carefully crafted facade of invincibility that narcissists present masks a significant vulnerability at their core. Despite projecting confidence and superiority outwardly, they are haunted by profound insecurity, compelling them to tirelessly pursue validation and admiration from others. Their inability to confront their own flaws and failures, coupled with their fear of embarrassment and shame, leaves them trapped in a never-ending cycle of denial and self-deception. This constant struggle to maintain their carefully curated image often comes at the expense of those closest to them, as they manipulate and objectify others in their quest for validation. In essence, the shortcomings observed in narcissists, such as their difficulty forming authentic relationships, relentless pursuit of perfection, and tendency towards manipulation and control, highlight the inherent vulnerability of human nature. Through recognizing and accepting these vulnerabilities, we can start to untangle the complexities of narcissism and cultivate a deeper sense of empathy and compassion for those affected by it. Before we conclude, I invite you to subscribe.
Relentless pursuit of perfection. Saints brand, being a saint and wanting to be the end all be all, always look good, always have people like me, always have friends, always win, always have money, always travel, always have something to flex about. And in the end, my real flex is the ability to comprehend a different perspective inside myself. That's my real flex, because if I constantly believe the shit show that I show myself, whatever I want to believe, and believe in the vacuum chamber, or the words that I'm saying, or the words that I'm listening to, and only keep people around that don't challenge me or don't call me out on my shit, we're just living in denial. You know what I mean? And denial's not only a river in Egypt. It's such a lovely place to be because it doesn't have any shame, doesn't have any guilt. Kind of like heroin, it's Heroinville. All of a sudden, all those feelings of inadequacy and the feelings of being like nails on a chalkboard, the come down from love addiction, the come down from drug addiction, the come down from our lie addiction, and this compulsion, to have somebody love us. I don't want to go home alone, and it didn't matter that I had a connection with the person, just mattered that somebody was there. And that's when I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to sleep with people I didn't care about. I didn't want to sleep with people that I didn't like or that didn't like me. So that came really quick with the celibacy. And then I finally had sex with a friend, and we were friends first, but I wasn't into her sexually. Like, we had sex, but we weren't compatible. And we started arguing, and then I fell right into Metzley. That was next. Yeah, me and her met, and she sat there in the dome, and I remember my heart sank when she's like, well, I'm a mother of two, and I was promising myself that I wouldn't date single moms anymore because it would just only lead to heartache, and I'm not going to be those children's daddy. I want to have my own children's. What are we doing? Before I knew it, we were doing each other and trying to make a child, and we did. And I have to say try, because people kill babies, and it's unfortunate. There's murder on the dance floor, and people would much rather have their life convenient and perfect and no mistakes and just delete babies than to admit that they had sex with a person. This is literally their birth control and be like, yeah, I had sex with a person. Not my proudest moment. I didn't mean to choose her. It's like knocking up a hooker. You know what I mean? You're having sex with somebody that's not of the level of your grandiosity and your perfection in the picture that you want to portray, and you were still sleeping with your business partner, or you did go off and sleep with the guy on the motorcycle. The truth will come out in the end. It fucking sucks, but that's what it used to be. You weren't immaculately concepted. That's a Jesus story. This is like literally you were doing the dirty, and now there's a price to pay for the dirty. Either it's an STD or the lack of a relationship or the killing of a baby. The responsibility is still there. You will bear the scars from all the lost children. You'll have to gather them around you in heaven and maybe in hell. You know, like my buddy said, he spent 1,000 years in hell, but infinity in heaven. And that's what Saint's Addiction's like. It took thousands of years of hell and fury and anger and just spite and like, why does my daddy not love me, and why am I not enough, and will I be enough, can I make a dream, can I make myself the way that I want to be, and maybe people will stop making fun of me for having a potbelly Creole belly, and if I just lose weight and feel great, then all of a sudden people will respect me, and then I'll have money, and then I'll be happy, and all these external things, right? 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 No, what it is am I going to keep my word with me? You know, that I really will see a psychologist. I need to. Can't be making these mistakes anymore. And it doesn't matter what they do. If they hit me, come at me, stonewall me, have my baby, I'm not allowed to get handsy. I'm not allowed to intimidate people. I thought I already learned that lesson. And again, such a good lesson to learn, because it's like only when you're vulnerable, only when you're in love, only when you're practicing a relationship are you going to know these inadequacies. You can hide the mask at work. You can hide the mask even from yourself. There's the denial part, but to fuck it, mask off and rip it off and go, oh shit, that's part me too. I do get jealous of other people. And then I get off my Facebook. Oh, they have a kid. They look so happy together. Jealous, gotta go. Oh man, he just bought new shoes. Man, those are $300 shoes. No way. I don't have $300. Time to get off that. Um, um, oh shit, I'm gonna fucking fixate and obsess about just one topic and figure out that she's the narcissist because I did all the research and she did me wrong and my feelings hurt. Or I'm taking accountability for me. It's not just her, dude. I did this fucking things too. I made her feel insecure. I was abrasive and especially when challenged. It was like it was bringing fire to the fire show. It was like a Mexican standoff, and then nobody wins and everybody's shot and bullets have no names and it's just a fucking melee. And some people prefer that kind of chaos. Some people prefer that kind of drama. We want to see what's going to happen. Who's going to get shot in this room? I don't even want to be in that room. I want to be in a wallless room. I want to be outside. I want nature to be my guide. I want to stop overthinking, overfeeling, and overanalyzing. I want to be in free flow, ever flow, and just living and living my blessed life, as everyone else keeps reminding me. You know, to remind myself that I am alive and that I am healthy enough to have these conversations with you, and hopefully healthy in my mind to translate it to someone else that can get it. I'm gonna do some book reviews. There's a bunch of books that I just read that are really, really fucking nice audiobooks. I'm going to cram them and I'll do the whole show. It's an hour and a half of a show every morning till we can get this information. And that's the show. So bless up. Blaze one for the nation. Peace of love. And as always, Chigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever and finish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. But as soon as you have that conversation with yourself, it sucks. Everyone has a form of narcissism. If someone said that they're narcissistic, they're lying to you. We all have some type of form of self-preservation, and we'll need it to have self-confidence to get into this world and be brave enough to face the firing squad of the real world. But it also means getting it real. As soon as you get real, you realize these real attacks, these little bullets flying at you, Neo, they're not even bullets. They're only going to hurt if you believe they hurt. And if it lands and it hurts, then it fits. If the shoe fits, right? But you can also have your real truth to it. You know, if you can sit there and go, yeah, there's some truth to that. There's some validity to that. It softens the blow. It's not really coming to attack and kill me. It's coming to expose. And the moment I can shed some light on this shit I've been trying to cover up, being a fucking hoarder, the moment I feel free and clear and flowing and knowing and willing to build something. That's where I can build from. I can't build it in the clouds. I can't build it in the sand, but I can build it from the bedrock. And sometimes we have to hit rock bottom, they say, for us to get it. And I don't want anybody to have to do it, but that's how humans learn. I mean, like all these things I did to myself got me these consequences, got me these results. And if I want better results, I'm gonna have to put myself under more supervision. I'm gonna have to be master and commander of this ship. And I can't be taking nights off. And I can't be drinking with the crew. And I can't be the leader of my own ship if I'm not responsible for everything that happens. So I didn't get the girl in the end. It's my fault. Um, I'd like to sit here and blame her all day. I have no regrets. She's taught me so much, and I wish her so much healing. It's not even funny. If I could touch her, I would have, and I wouldn't be having this conversation. I'd be with her, and unfortunately, that's not the truth. And the truth is that um, I'm not perfect, and I make mistakes still. And even though I thought I already learned from them, I'm starting to repeat them, and I have to identify with that. I have to fucking wake up and realize that. Wake up and realize, and my real eyes are starting to realize my real eyes. Like it's like, bro, you can't be handsy with chicks, bro. I don't give a fuck what they say or do to you, bro. You just can't. And if they want to go that way, you need to empower yourself and be so stoic and so in control. And you go like, that's you, dude. That's on you. I can't. I'm gonna let you know that this is too much for me. I tap out. I'm gonna need a minute. I'll be back to talk about anything that you want to. Not a stonewalling technique. Just that whatever's happening might trigger that other part of me that I don't really respect, and I'm trying to put that baby to bed. I'm no longer a child. I'm an adult. And if you'd like to have an adult conversation with me and have an adult conclusion to it, then I'm all ears. But if you're just here to have tears and fears and emotional blowouts and rages and all those other things, I'm not your human punching bag. That is not what I'm here for. That is not the spirit of humanity. And I won't participate in it. You know, I don't need to participate in gossip. I don't need to mind my tongue. I don't need to say as much as I do. And I need to watch what I do. The way I treat people, the way I respond. It's all up to me, man. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. So day after my birthday, 44 years old, day one of 44 years, and counting, hopefully. What else can I do with it? And I'm on these audiobooks, man. I'm on learning about narcissism and why my relationships aren't working, and how did I get to this point, and how do I fix it? What can I do? Because I can't control them. I can only control me. And again, I lacked empathy, and again I lacked self-control, and again I got physical. So psychologists, here I come. You know, I'm not above reproach. I'm not above childhood traumas. I'm not above mistakes. And to be honest, I'll do anything to win. Like you talk about narcissism, I'll get out of my own way, bro. Psh, fuck, I want to be successful so bad, I'm willing to not self-sabotage. That's crazy, right? You know, I'm willing to walk away from fights instead of fighting people. Never thought I'd say that. I'm like, what, bitch? You're winning. I can't let you win. I gotta have the last word. Boom, not anymore. Boom, baby, boom. I'll let you just stay in your own turmoil. I can't fix you. I didn't create the issues that are causing you the influx in the first place. I can't fix broken people. They need to fix themselves. It sucks, you know. We like to think that I'm a psychologist, and I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't prescribe you meds, but I can tell you, you might need a joint, you might need some LSD, you might need some mushrooms, you might need some ayahuasca, hell, you might even need some ketamine. But all those things can be abused. All those things are just crutches. They're just little ways to not make the leap so far, but the leap is far. There is going to be some stoicism. There is going to be some What's the word, fasting. There is going to be some dieting. There is going to be some self-control. There is going to be some workouts. This is where it comes from. It really is profounding me. I was like, for me, I could feel myself wanting to self-harm, you know. I'm all alone, and this is again another birthday. The last birthday was in London, and I didn't get to go. I very flaked out, albeit I went to bed early. At least yesterday, I got to go to the Rainforest Spa, get over my ex. I was like, I'm not going to that place. It reminds me of her. That's where I fell in love with her. And it's like, and you put the power on it. It's still a place. For other people, they're just chilling. For other people, it's just another sauna. It's just another steam room. And to be honest, my body needed it. So I went to the Rainforest Spa, went and ate pizza, or I was going to go eat pizza. I ate Mexican food, and then got a massage and got to eat what I wanted for breakfast. Shout out to Everflow. They're amazing. All organic and vegetarian, handmade fucking stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Fill myself with all the good stuff. Didn't fight with anybody. Didn't want to ruin my own time. Didn't want to ruin my own life. And that's what this show's all about. Man, let's went for fucking 2 hours talking about this. It's a thing, man. It's a thing that I do. I go into it, and if we go full 2 hours, I'm gonna share another one with you that was really potent for me. Let's do. Is it this one? Should I do 7 flags of a toxic relationship or relationship mistakes? Let's do relationship mistakes. Because we all make mistakes.
Huge thanks for all of the love and support that you've given us. Psych2Go's mission is to make psychology more accessible to everyone, and you help us do that. Now, let's continue. Mistakes are an opportunity to learn and grow. But sometimes the mistakes you make in a relationship can lead to unnecessary issues between you and your partner, or even cause a painful breakup. Whether you're in a relationship now or plan to be in one in the future, understanding the most common relationship mistakes can help you become a better partner and have happier and healthier relationships. By the end of this video, you'll know the most common mistakes that nearly everyone makes and how to avoid making them yourself. Let's jump into it. The love language mismatch.
Guilty.
What's your love language? According to Irina Fierstein, a licensed clinical social worker and couples therapist, if you don't know the answer to this question, you could be making one of the most common relationship mistakes. Dr. Fierstein points out that understanding your partner's love language and your own is important for a successful relationship. A love language describes how someone gives and receives love. There are 5 different love languages: physical touch, quality time, words of affirmation, gift giving or receiving, and acts of service. Not understanding your partner's love language is a mistake that almost all of us make at some point, and it can lead to problems in your relationship. For example, imagine that your love language is quality time and your partner is gift giving or receiving.
That was me.
They constantly surprise you with flowers and spoil you with thoughtful presents, but you don't care about gifts.
Nope.
You're just thinking, they never spend quality time with me.
Right. You just
Why don't they
2
love
hours
me?
grabbing shit
In this
that
case,
I didn't need,
the problem might not be that your partner doesn't love you. Rather, they just don't know how to best show their love for you because they don't know your love language, and you don't know theirs. This can cause a lot of miscommunication and make you and your partner feel unappreciated or unloved.
And then when I asked
So
for
how
more
can you avoid
affection,
making this mistake?
I was told I needed
Learn what your partner's love
attention.
language is and know your own. Talk about it openly with your partner.
It wasn't communicated.
Then you'll understand how to express your love for them in a way that resonates with them, and vice versa.
Wow.
Curious about what your love language is? Try taking the Love Languages quiz. It was developed by Dr. Gary Chapman, a marriage and family counselor and author who developed the concept of the 5 love languages. After you've finished watching this video, take the quiz linked in the description and share your results in the comments below.
Right.
Ignorance is bliss. Cy is frustrated with his girlfriend, Mary, because she constantly leaves her dirty laundry in a messy pile in the room instead of putting it in the hamper. Every day he cleans it up for her, but gets more and more irritated every time he sees it. But he never says anything to her about it because things are going well in their relationship, and he doesn't want to start an argument.
Right.
Finally, one day, Sai sees the messy pile of clothes yet again and loses his temper. You're so messy. I hate how you always leave your clothes around. How hard is it to put them in the hamper? Mary is surprised and hurt. She didn't even know this was bothering Sai. Why didn't you tell me sooner? She asked. Can you relate to the situation?
Yeah.
When we hold our emotions in for long enough, it's only a matter of time before they come to the surface.
Damn.
Sai's predicament is just one example of how ignoring a problem in a relationship can lead to resentment.
Exactly.
Which can make the relationship become worse over time. Amy Morin, psychotherapist and licensed clinical social worker, says that ignoring problems is one of the most common mistakes that can hurt a relationship.
Damn.
She recommends having open and honest conversations with your partner about your problems in your relationship and how you feel about them. According to Morin, not
Honest
only can this
communication,
help you
open
avoid making the
communication.
common mistakes of ignoring problems, but it will also help you and your partner establish a deeper sense of trust with one another and strengthen your bond.
Trust.
Instead of
Imagine
sweeping
that.
your relationship problems under the rug and hoping they'll go away with time, communicating clearly and compassionately with your partner
That dirty
is the
rug.
better approach.
That
As
dirty
the famous
rug.
philosopher John Dewey said, a problem well stated is a problem half solved.
Nice.
It was good until it wasn't.
Damn.
When you're in a brand new relationship, everything feels exciting and filled with passion.
We're gonna
But over
win.
time, that honeymoon
We'll
phase
never give
can
up on
start
each
to wear
other.
off.
We'll always stay together.
Morin pointed out that many people make the mistake of getting so caught up in the monotonous tasks of everyday life that they end up spending less time with their partner. Instead of going on dates or trying something new and exciting, they do things that are, well, kind
Mundane.
of boring. Since this is an easy habit to slip into when you get comfortable with your partner, almost everyone. A 2015 study published in the American Journal of Family Therapy identified various ways to keep romantic relationships exciting and created a new model for it. According to the model, doing exciting activities is the key to maintaining the passion in your relationship. This means being adventurous, to try new things, and have novel experiences together. They also cited playful and silly activities like having inside jokes and laughing together. Other categories that were mentioned included having spontaneous, passionate, sexual, and romantic activities. Try implementing these activities in your relationship to prevent things from getting stale.
Thank you.
We hope you resonated with this video and learned how to avoid.
Man, alive. Can't bond if you don't have sex. Can't bond if you don't spend time. And you can't bond if you're telling a lie. It's not beyond me. It's not beyond you. This is something that happens to everybody, bro. These love languages gets mixed matched. You know, you're buying me swim trunks or fucking stuff for the house. I wanted you in the house. I didn't need the stuff in the house. I wanted someone that was by my side. I wanted to start to build, but as soon as it was time to do that, this person ran. I mean, literally ran for the hills. I've runaway bride. Like any type of commitment was going to scare them. And it's tough to face other people. You're going to be exposed on a regular of how bad your temper is. And it's going to be frustrating because you're already frustrated. And then somebody's going to be, stop being frustrated. And you're like, that makes me more frustrated. And you're like, yeah, man, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to sit down and have a tough conversation with somebody and go, man, I know you're buying me things, but my love language is time and affection. What can we do about that affection? Oh, we can't do anything about it. It's an inconvenience to you. You already gave me 2 slices of sex, all sorts of passive aggressive moves. You know, I'm the sex addict now. You know, put it on me, project upon me that I want to bind with you and bond with you. Okay, just checking. You know, oh, I'm the pervert because I like rubbing your booty. Okay, it's me, but you have a, you know, a butt lift. What are we doing here, bro? You know what I mean? This is the thing of this show is, oh shit, I got 15 more minutes. I want to play another one. What the fuck are we doing on this shit, bro? We're doing it to ourselves and it's stupid. It's just really dumb. And it's unsustainable too. So we can keep it up, but let's do adult women have temper tantrums. This is the happy wife school. The chick is super dope.
To a difference in opinion or constructive criticism with temper tantrums.
Wow.
We do not want to feel dismissed or disrespected or unheard. And anytime our husband tries to share their opinion or share the problem they are having with us, it ends up in a temper tantrum because we feel that we're wrong and bad and we become defensive. It's pretty clear to me in my own experience as a woman, and I know many men out there listening share this experience, that most communication with a woman ends up in an argument.
Tears,
because
yelling,
we take everything
violence
as a personal attack that we are being made wrong and bad, and then we become incredibly defensive and will push against any criticism or flaw that our husband is pointing out that they would like for us to work on. We become a grown-up child and essentially have a temper tantrum. And this is where, I have a video about Mrs. Right and how men can know when they are right and Mrs. Always Right is wrong. Because we constantly make our husbands wrong and bad, that they are the problem, and we are our Mrs. Right, and we always have to be right because we
not that I'm not affectionate
are incapable of having something exposed about us that we need to work on, that we need to look at in ourselves and take accountability for. So we melt down into temper tantrums. And over the years, as I've taught this to women and also taught men this about their wives. A lot of times when we hear that word temper tantrum, we think of a child wailing on the floor and kicking and screaming and having, an outright meltdown, like what you might see in the middle of a grocery store.
Panic attack in public.
But temper tantrums from adult women come in different flavors.
It's not
that's not as common, although I have heard stories of temper tantrums like that. A woman, banging her head against a closet wall or shutting herself in a room and just having a total emotional meltdown. But a lot of times a temper tantrum from a woman can be a little more subtle, and it can be a woman just shutting down and turning into the ice queen.
Yay.
It can be a woman, if a lot of you have wives, if you bring up something that she's done that you would like her to work on, or a tone she has with you, or ways she disrespects you, she'll get very emotional and start crying, like, and say, I'm so bad, I'm so sorry, and just so emotional. That's a temper tantrum. And she might say, I feel so guilty, I'm so sorry, I'm that way, I just can't help it, and I don't know how to change it, and I'm so embarrassed.
Right.
That's a temper tantrum. That's her not wanting to look at herself and playing the martyr.
Yeah, dude, what if I did that, bro? What if I started crying in front of the police? I'm so sorry, I didn't know I was speeding. Instant ticket. They don't give a fuck about men that way. We give women passes, and that's what works. You know what I mean? If they cry their way out, if they've been harmed, oh, you led me in a headlock. Did you try headbutting him first? And before you headbutted him, did you try kicking him in the groin? Did he actually clench a fist and actually swing upon you? Or you lunged at him and his phone and tried to break one of his, some of his important property? No, you wouldn't say that, would you? You wouldn't say that you lose your temper 5 times before that. You were tapping my head at the club going like, you don't understand. Very, very rude. And I controlled myself in that moment too. But when you're getting tapped on the head, being patronized, being talked down to, being not even petted like a dog, being patted like a dog, it's extremely disrespectful. And you can cry all you want, but it's the way you treat people. It's not the way you look. It's not the way you look. It's not the look. And there's some people that are so obsessed about looks, all of us narcissists, we don't seem to mind to show our ass once in a while. We don't seem to mind to show that quick temper, that lack of patience, that asshole.
And feeling sorry for herself that she's been busted and called out. I know that in myself, that was very much definitely me, even as a child. When I would get in trouble, I would just start crying and get really emotional and sensitive as a defense mechanism to try to get my parents, mainly my dad, to back off and not give me a punishment, because I wanted to make them feel sorry for me. That's what your wife is doing when she does that. A temper tantrum can't be storming off and going into another room. A temper tantrum can look like your wife being just perfectly calm and finding ways to try to point the finger out at you and acting like everything is fine on the outside of, okay, sure, thank you for sharing that with me. But men, you can feel what's really going on inside. You need to trust that. So a temper tantrum can happen completely internally and covertly, to where it's not even showing or being expressed on the outside. And in that temper tantrum, we're just being a grown-up child. A temper tantrum, when you bring up something with your wife, and she gets defensive or doesn't want to look at it, can also look like her giving in to you. And giving in to what you want.
Yeah, and then you don't capitulate. That's another thing I found with feminists, is that then it's the patriarchy, it's the man winning, it's another man winning against me. Again, black and white thinking, no compromise, no teamwork. It's all IBB, or you versus me, instead of we, instead of us. Instead of, okay, this is to improve us, I'm doing something to improve us. It's no, I have to capitulate. My perspective is that I have to capitulate and kowtow down and bow to this man. I'm already talking like this to this man, not like this partner of mine, this man that's really trying, this man that loves me. It's a man. I have toxic feelings towards men, and as long as anyone's trying to tell me something, including my own father, and I know that bug in my mouth, and I know that I have a responsibility and accountability and a punishment coming, but I want to avoid it at all costs. So I'll just melt it right in front of him and try to avoid the punishment, because then he'll have sympathy on me, and instead of empathy, giving empathy, like your father start giving empathy instead of giving you a punishment. And it's a great way to get out of what's happening, but you can only cry so many times before you get a ticket, right? Like, you can only cry wolf so many times before people stop paying attention, and it's only going to work for so fucking long, bro. Like, you know what I mean? You can pretend, but it gets real in the end. Let's go.
And then she will purposely sabotage whatever you've decided to be able to say, see, this didn't go, I knew this wouldn't work out.
You didn't buy the bungalow.
You're wrong.
That was my
I'm right.
business meeting.
Can't have communication. We can't have a safe environment for both spouses to be able to share openly when we act this way as women and we have these temper tantrums. Remember,
can't tell you that I need more affection without you running off and making it into a fight. Blew up on me, didn't even grab your stuff, left your best friend, and wanted to instead of apologizing in the end. I get 17 messages. I put the fan on you, and I get 17 messages of why I'm wrong for putting a fan on you. Instead of just apologizing, it's just a fan. It's something so small, so trivial, but you made it into a molehill, mountain, out of a molehill, and you created more divide, you created more anxiety, and you said it was me. Bruh. The lack of self-control and self-accountability was staggering. It was just like, because you were mentally unwell or imbalanced doesn't mean everybody has to ride the crazy train with you. Matter of fact, most people have an aversion to it. We know how we can't go inside you and fix you. We can run and get you orange juice. We can go run and get you money, medicine, whatever it takes. But at the same time, it'll never make you happy. And then people will stop running to go get you shit. They'll just be done trying to fucking present the never-ending, never happy pile, this ritual of bringing you shit when you keep treating them like shit. That won't make sense.
Communication is feeling safe in the environment to be able to be open.
Right. Next time I want to share how I really feel, I know you're going to blow up. I just learned it. You're not going to sit there and say, okay, baby, it's going to be all right. Here, let's go around and get one in the bathroom again. Let me get that boner down. Let me make hard soft. Make you soft, man. You're too tense. You're sexually repressed. You've been forced celibate. You know what I mean? Let me get some of that edge off you. Let me soothe you, and let me heal you with what I can give with my feminine energy. Became a bargaining tool. And maybe as an ex-sex worker, this is what happens when you are trouble bonding with people. Trauma bonding people are trying to have bond at all. Is now they're a reflection of all the souls that have been inside you. That sucks. That's a lot of souls. That's a lot of people that have harmed you, disrespected you, and then you'll just put them all in that category. It's not that you disrespected them or that you disrespected yourself. It's always going to be external. They disrespected me. It's like, don't put yourself in those positions. Don't put yourself in a position where a man could take the power over you just for money. If that's the exchange, then it's always going to be a transaction. And then you're going to view this as not a compromise or a negotiation. You're going to see it as a win-loss scenario. And who wants to lose? And especially to a man, someone that's taking power and that's abused me my whole life. It's always them. You know what I mean? They don't know how to control themselves. I'm a sexual object. They're only going to want one thing from me. And you start thinking that way, bro. You start believing that way. It's toxic. It'll affect the lens in which you see people. If I flip the script on this, if I sit there and go, all women just going to want me for my money, or they're only going to love me if I have money, or I got to be 6 foot and I'm only 5'7", I gotta have 6-pack abs and I'm on Potbelly Creole, I gotta have over a 6-inch dick, thank God that I do, 6-pack, 6 figures a year, and I have made 6 figures, haven't this year. No money at all. It's probably the least amount of money I've ever made in a whole year, and I've gotten by a full year with like less than 10,000 US dollars. Like, it's amazing. Half of me would have been stressed out trying to chase 100 grand and not happy. And here I'm healthy and a little bit happy. I'm a little bit still sad. You know, this stuff is hard. I'm having my own. I'm gonna have to learn about my own shortcomings, and that's never fun. And going through a breakup and learning about loss and losing love and also being treated hella abusive and being disrespected, it's going to shadow on me. I'm going to have that cat eye out. I'm going to be squinting. I'm going to be like, is she just talking about herself, or is she narcissistic next time? It bleeds on you. You're going to think everybody's going to have an angle. You're going to be signing prenups left, right, and straight. You're going to always have you're never going to be present because you're going to feel like they're not present, and then you give half truths and you only put your mask in the middle instead of putting your hat in the middle and actually committing and saying, okay, flaws and all, warts and all, here I am. And most people go, ooh, you got warts, and they're out. You know what I mean? Oh, there it is. I saw something I didn't like. Gotta go. Bye. Fuck you. And that's why we're all dating and
without being made wrong and without someone's words being weaponized against them. And then as women, we wonder why there's no intimacy in the relationship. And speaking of emotional intimacy, it's because we've sucked it all out. The unsafe environment we create for there to be no constructive communication, then there can be no emotional connection and intimacy with our husbands. We've shut it down by taking everything as a personal attack, wanting to blame them, and having no accountability or willingness to be vulnerable and have accountability to look at ourselves. What we want to realize as women is that accountability and looking at ourselves and taking responsibility for our shortcomings requires vulnerability. It requires being exposed and an openness to be humbled and to look at ourselves. I assure you, ladies, when your husband, as a good man, brings things up with you in the marriage and things that are bothering him and things he sees that are hurting him in the relationship, he is coming from a good place. He's coming from a place of fighting for the marriage. He's fighting for you, and he's fighting for himself. He has no malicious intent to make us wrong and bad. They are problem solvers, and they want to look at the issues.
And there it is. So
she's Japanese, I'm American. It's not that that's difficult. It's that
I've been on it the whole time. I've been on here for 2 hours. I'm gonna go live my life. Thank you for learning with me. Thank you for your time. I hope you fast forwarded the good parts. And I've already said goodbye. So let me get off this thing. Make sure you start to learn yourself. This is going to be the biggest lesson of your life. It's time that you have conversations with yourself. Identify your love languages. Identify what you're compatible with. And also identify your weaknesses, because we all got them, bro. And if we work on them, they aren't weaknesses anymore. Peace.